even looking at Shorty now, what I was saying as far as him though, I was wondering if he was just so young, he didn't really realize what he was saying. I would
He
hope that
did.
would be
You
the
could you
case.
listen to the conversation again. He knows exactly what he's saying because he uses different terms for the same
Hmm.
thing. You get
Well,
what I'm
maybe I didn't
saying?
hear the whole thing then, because I didn't think it was that long though.
Because he was even saying about how uh, he wouldn't kill his family
Oh,
because
I
he
didn't see
loves his
that part.
family. At the
Oh,
end, yeah, he's
wow.
like, "Oh, I don't want to kill my family. I love my family, but I'll kill everybody else
Did
because
you send me the whole thing? You sent,
yeah, I sent you the whole thing." All
because
right.
I
Anyway,
all right, we're gonna have to check that out,
that
man.
yeah, we'll get into that on another what you call it. Hey, everybody, welcome to Real Brothers for the Real World. Um, we appreciate you tuning in to our digital neighborhood. I'm TL, and that's my man Stace,
What's up,
and we
folks?
got some good topics on point for y'all tonight. And we just want to thank y'all for tuning in. And Stace, what we working with this week?
All right, Nike. Well, once again, welcome to the digital neighborhood, Real Brothers for the Real World. A little more than a year, celebrating our 1 year anniversary, January 24th. Again, as TL said, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. While I'm talking, as is customary, TL is putting the link out. We welcome you to click on the link and join us with any of these conversations. All right, here are the four topics that we have. Topic number one: how long can we continue to live like this? Number two, be his peace. How important is that to a man? Number three, what is actual truth? And lastly, bringing up the rear, is not voting just an excuse for non-action? So there are the four topics that we're gonna wrap about tonight. So again, the link is out there, so we welcome you to click on the link and bust it up with us. That always makes the conversation a little more interesting to get those other perspectives. But before we go any further, like, do we have any randoms, man? You have any randoms for today?
I actually do have a random. I have a random, and I should have had it pulled up. Just give me a second. It
Mm.
is right here. So all right. So my random for this week, I haven't. I know I haven't had any in a couple weeks, but I think I got a good one for this week.
Mm-hmm.
And my question or my topic is: what will people do if the deity that they pray to actually came back right now, like this
Mm.
very moment? What would they do? What do you think would happen if, say, Jesus or Muhammad or Buddha or any of these entities came back like during this podcast?
What will we do?
Yeah, what
Now
would
let
people
me
do?
ask let me ask you, Knight. Now and now I'm no theologist, but
Right?
when they talk about the return of Jesus, that's during the rapture, right? That means it's the end of the world, right? That means we all about to die, right? I
Maybe,
thought.
maybe, maybe, maybe.
I
Who
mean, because
knows?
your response is a
Nobody
little different.
knows when he's coming back. That's the thing.
But
Or
right, no one knows. But I thought that when he did return, he was coming to return to reclaim the earth, and then that was it. No,
But yeah, so who's to say he won't come back to tomorrow or tonight
right.
and reclaim
Well,
it? That's what I'm
well,
so my question is, what would
what do
people
you
do?
do? Okay,
Yeah, would
okay.
would you deny it? Would you
No,
say,
I think
man, get out of here? This ain't Jesus. How would you know? And how would you know?
wow. Now that's interesting. Now, okay. First question first. I think my response would be to, I mean, oddly enough, again with my first response, if the return of Jesus meaning it means that that's the end of the world, then naturally I think my first response would be try to gather and be as close to my family as possible. If we all about to go, you know what I mean? I think that that
Right.
would be my response. Now, as far as how would you know? I think I would be basing it on what's happening. I mean, if he comes down today and the sun is out and everybody chilling and it's not like fire brim and rain, hell and all that other kind of stuff, then I guess I guess you probably would question it because again, I thought we were taught that when the second coming is the rapture. That's it.
But that's the
So
thing. We don't know what the second coming is.
we
It's
don't.
all
I said we've been
speculation.
taught. Right. Again, we've been taught. So but that's why I said if it start raining fire and stuff like that, and flies everywhere, because there's supposed to be an attack of the moccasins or whatever the animal is. If all those things are happening, and then I see the image of Jesus where I really think that it's over, then that's why I want to surround myself with my family.
And one of our users says Muslims do not pray or worship Muhammad. I know, but Muhammad was a messenger. Same thing. All right, it changed the word, changed Muhammad
Whatever,
to Allah
whatever,
or
right,
whatever your person du jour would be.
right, right.
Right.
So type the question, type the answer in then. Okay, Muslims don't pray or worship Muhammad. What would you do, or what would your response be if your, as Terry said, your deity or the God that you worship returned? How would you react to that? So type that
Right.
in, or click on the link
My
and
and
join
I'm gonna
us.
give you. I want to give you my personal belief or opinion on this.
Hmm.
One thing is, as far, I'm gonna just take the Christian just because it's more relatable with that example. Because, like I said, even Allah or whatever. But if if Jesus were to come back, you wouldn't really know what he looked like because
True.
you're gonna go by the pictures that you see in these churches.
Right.
And Jesus, I'm more than 100% sure that Jesus doesn't look like those pictures you see
Right.
in these
Absolutely.
churches.
Right.
I look more
Right.
like Jesus than those pictures in those churches.
Hmm.
You get what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
So if a person came down now and said, I'm Jesus and blah 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 blah, I want to do this, I want to do that. This is my, whatever.
Hmm.
People going to be like, "Man, fuck out of here. That ain't no Jesus. Get out of here."
Because you're saying
You
we
know,
wouldn't know, we
because
couldn't identify him.
right, and not that you couldn't identify him. Um, your belief system wouldn't let you acknowledge that that person was who you thought it would be, right?
See,
Because
but
in your mind, your God, your Jesus, is an entity out in, let's say, out in space or out in
mhm.
heaven
Right,
or
right,
or
wherever he
wherever,
is.
right?
Right. Hmm.
So you're not going to be able to comprehend
The physical.
that being coming down to your plane of existence. You get what I'm saying? You're
Right.
gonna
We
you're
see.
gonna have doubt. You're gonna
Right.
have. Uh, I don't think it would be. I don't think people would readily accept it
Now, and
personally.
actually, that person that responded was Shice. Shice, man, click on the link. We like to get your input on this. But as I said though, I think for me it depends on everything else that's going on. Now, again, not claiming to be a person that's heavily steeped in the books, the religious books or what have you. But my understanding was that the return of Jesus was going to bring other things that would come along with it. So again, I would think that those other things would have to be happening for me to be looking around saying, "Yo, this looked like the end of the world." You know what I mean? So my response would be based on a few things happening, not just a person popping up looking like a person named
But
Jesus.
a lot of the prophecies
Mm.
that are in the Bible, as well as the Emerald tablets, as well
Hmm.
as the Enuma Elish, as well as all these other, uh, you know, uh, I wouldn't,
Right,
I kind
documents.
of
Right, documents. I
hesitate
got
on
you.
saying holy books, but
Right, I got you.
documentation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the way they describe the fall of mankind, we're kind of going through the beginnings of that now. You know what I mean? We're
Well,
kind of every civilization, we're living in a what's called a cyclical. Uh, we're
well.
living
See,
in
but
this. Mhm.
now, and I understand. I think I understand where you're about to go with it. I think that there's a difference between the churning of superpowers or countries countries turning over or falling of an empire versus the end of days. Well, the end of days that I'm thinking about, I'm looking at like global things, not just a rising power, the fall of the Roman Empire. I'm thinking about, like I said, something that's happening at a global level for me to think that
And me
we
too.
could
And that's what
possibly
I'm
be looking at the end
that's
of days.
exactly what I'm talking about. All of it. So uh all of the great civilization of the world uh have fallen at
Eventually,
one
right.
time.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You got the Mayans, you got the Atlanteans, you got the Sumerians, all of them.
Hmm. Hmm.
And the fall of Rome.
Yeah.
So the United States is sort of falling into the same type of behavior and category as the fall of Rome.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? So so that's why I say everything in history sort of repeats itself. It's a
Hmm. Hmm.
cycle. It's the
Now,
same program running
but you
on a
know what,
loop.
Knight? Now I'll say this though, Knight, and I know that you and I have discussions about this before. I think one of the differences is that I can think of as it relates to the United States is that we have ways. I think, in my opinion, we have ways and opportunities. Is I guess is a better word to change. A lot of those other empires, they were just a handful of people, maybe a family, maybe an emperor that was the person calling all the shots. And if that person went down, he took everybody down with him. Now again,
That's not
like I
true.
said, well, I mean, but my point is that I think that and I think that this is a matter of a perspective, because I still look at this country with everything that we have going on. We still have an opportunity to right the ship. We can still make changes. We can do different things to take our country in a different direction, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I don't think that we're quote unquote doomed to continue down any path. I think that if people got involved and people stood up, like I said, I think that we can change directions. No.
I don't the reason that I don't think that it's possible, or I think there's a low percentage chance of that being possible, is because of the fact that we have been playing this same
Mm.
scenario over and over and over and over and over,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Like the things that we're fighting for now are the same things and basically that we have been fighting for years and years and years.
Right.
So we're in a system that is not able to we're in a system that can't be changed, first of all, because of the way it was set up, right?
See, that's the part I disagree with, though.
We would have to no, but in order to change our system to be what we need it to be, and
Hmm.
for the survival of this civilization,
Hmm.
then that whole system would have to be revamped, right? And then
Okay.
you have, on top of that, you have the people who are in charge, right? The
Hmm.
people that own all of the currency, own all of the businesses, own all of the corporations, own all of the military defense systems and all of that. They have a different agenda than what the actual public has. Their
Right.
agenda doesn't match our agenda. So
Now,
they
now,
get to okay, go ahead.
now, I'll say this though. Now, one of the first statements where the direction that I thought you were going to go in, and you changed, and I would have agreed with. I think what's in this system that's set up now, I think what's destructive currently is apathy, because to your point, and when you say you think it's a low percentage chance that something like that will happen, I tend to agree with that, because enough people don't realize that they have to participate, that they can't just sit on the sidelines and complain, but not, which kind of goes into our first topic. They can't sit on the sidelines, not participate, not do something, and expect change. Again, I think that apathy is dangerous to democracy. because you
It
sit
is.
back and wait,
But
So I think that's
we
one of the
aren't
bigger
that,
problems.
and I think that's where we have been duped into thinking that we live in a democratic system. First of all, like we our democratic system isn't the democratic system that we think it is. Just because, like I always say, the people are not the the wishes and the wishes of the people is not always considered when they're making the laws that they make. The laws are written for to keep the people that are in power, right? So that is the only way we would be able to get out of or fix our system is to change it altogether. Which we gotten a little off topic of what the actual what the
But
actual
that's a good lead in though. That's a good lead
what you
in
call it was.
because
Because
when the
okay, and
go
the
ahead, go
last
ahead.
thing I want to say, like if Jesus were to come back,
Oh,
he could come on, he could click on and be a you know and come on the show and be like, I'm back,
mm,
and everybody be like, man, you better get your ass out of here. You know what I'm saying? But in my
mm,
opinion, hey, Jesus is a real brother. You know
mm,
what I mean?
mm, mm,
Because
mm,
it's all about the spirit in which you exist, right?
right, right, right.
So
Um,
so yeah,
you know what though? Actually, but that's a good lead in, night to the first topic that we might as well jump into, and that is not voting an excuse for non-action? Again,
right.
is not voting an excuse for non-action? And that actually is funny because that question came basically as a result of the conversation we're having now. Because I was having a dialogue with someone on Facebook, and we were talking about. He was kind of saying, and I find that a lot of people are very apathetic to uh, empowerment, to being able to make change. People just don't think they have any power at all. And one of the things that he was saying, he was kind of saying things along those lines that, oh, we're supposed to go vote for the lesser of two evils. And I said, yeah, we are. A lot of times in life, we do make decisions like that. We make choices. And
Right. You
sometimes it
have
is,
to.
we have to, right? We have to.
Right.
But my question to him was, are you saying that a better choice is to not do anything at all?
And
You
then
know what I mean?
and all right, and that's a good segue into our next topic.
That was it. That was the topic. Is
Not
not
voting
voting
just an excuse for action? I'm gonna put it up here now.
right? Is non-voting an excuse for non-action? Because
And
I see that a lot. Like you see a lot of people on Facebook and on social media, and it's like it never fails. As soon as you start talking about an issue, the first thing they start talking about is how much power we don't have. And
right,
and to me, and sometimes I look at that, and like I said, it made me wonder: do some people just like taking that negative perspective, that negative position, only as excuse to say, well, I don't have to do anything because I can't do anything anyway. And
right.
and I wonder if that's
And
the case though.
I I understand those people who say that because, like I said, I'm one of those people who don't think that the system will change just because I follow history. And if our and I'm saying that if our system hasn't changed in all this time, it's not the it's not the people or the process that's broken. It's the system that's broken.
But listen to this, now. What you
And the
just
thing is, we can put people in, but until we fix that, we put people into a system that's broken.
right?
You understand that part?
I do.
So if we were putting people into a different system, then yeah, we could start to change things. But we put people into a system that is already broken.
Right.
Until that actual system is fixed, that is the only way we can make change. And
Now,
here's another thing.
mhm,
But when I say I vote because I vote for the lesser of
right,
two
because you do
evils,
vote, right?
Because if I didn't vote, then I don't have the right to complain. I don't
Agreed.
have any. I don't
That
have any
part.
room to say, well,
First,
we could
right,
do. You know what I
right.
mean? So
First,
so
right. And I
that's how
and
I vote,
and
that's
I
why
get
I vote.
that.
Right.
I get that, right. Because again, you still have to do something. But now, one of the things you said I want to chime in on. You said that you don't think it would change because you consider history. History is supposed to be a tool to help you learn. You learn from history. History doesn't dictate fate. Therefore, you can take a
But it
look at
does.
listen to this though. You can take a look at a historical fact and say, okay, in history in 1944 they did ABC. Currently we did AB. Let's do M. You know what I mean? Meaning that you know just because something happened in the past, history can be used as a guide to make change instead of saying, okay, we've already started going down this path. Because if that's the case, Knight, there would have been no change at all. We would still be basically we would still be slaves because somebody would say, well, the first slave tried to escape and he didn't make it, so I'm not doing anything. No, somebody said, okay, 300 slaves got killed trying to escape. I'm going to go this route versus going the route that they did. So again, history, I don't think, automatically dictates what's coming. History can be used as a guide and as a tool to learn from.
History absolutely tells you what's coming. History absolutely, without question, 1,000%
If you don't
tells you
change, right? If you
tells
don't
you
change, if you
right.
don't
If you
change,
don't change, and
if you
we
don't change.
haven't changed, we have the same system that we started out with. So
Well, see,
that's my point. So we have the same exact system that Rome had, for instance, right?
no,
So be
it wasn't.
huh?
No, they
Yes,
didn't
we
have this
do.
system. No,
Yes,
they
they
didn't have
did.
a.
They had
They didn't have a
senators and
republic.
congressmen. What?
It
That
was
where you think
okay.
we got the system? Where,
No, it was. But go
Stacks,
ahead. Go ahead.
look up your history. Where do you think we got this system? We got this from Rome. We
Okay. All
got
right.
this
Go
from
ahead.
senators, congressmen, and the Caesar slash president. We got
Okay.
this system from Rome.
Okay. So
And
finish your
and
thought.
and and the same way the Senate and the Republic was corrupted is the same way our Senate and our Congress is corrupted. The same way we're leading down the same path as Rome did. That's why they say you've never like the fall of Rome. The
Right.
United States is headed towards the same fate as the fall of
Headed.
Rome. That's
Headed.
true,
Headed.
right?
But this is a key difference though, Knight. And this is one of the first things I said. Is it possible that if we continue down this path that it'll get to that point? Possible. But that's why I said what's dangerous to a democracy is apathy. Because I think that if everybody started stomping their feet and everyone did what you do, say, okay, you know what, this system is terrible, but I'm gonna go vote. If everyone did that, and we start saying, okay, you're corrupt, you're out, you're corrupt, you out. If you don't vote the way we want to, you're gone. Then we'll start to see the change that we want. But the problem is that we got lulled to sleep. Enough of us got lulled to sleep, and like I said, it's a small
Because
percentage of people that don't vote at all. So therefore, the politicians are able to do the things that they want to do because enough people aren't going to step up and do anything.
let me ask you, why do people get lulled to sleep?
Why did they go? I'm just not paying attention. Enlighten me.
Enough people
Good
get
evening.
low. People get lulled to sleep because they are indoctrinated. They are brainwashed. Because the same people that run the government are the same people that own all the media outlets, all the social media, all the news. All do you see when you turn on the news? You don't see nothing good.
But listen, but
They
you know what?
rule. Let me.
Okay,
They
okay.
rule by fear
True.
and they rule by division, right?
True. If you
And
allow
and
them,
and
if you
and
allow them,
but we do allow them. That's the
right?
thing. We
Allow
do
them
allow
though.
them.
That's the key,
That
Knight.
that's the key. We allow them.
We
And
allow them.
what you and I'm agreeing with what you said that yeah, there's a certain portion of the population that is vulnerable
Mm,
to this brainwash effect because whether it be because of their beliefs, whether it be because of their education, whether it
Mhm.
be because you know of their addiction to their devices, you know what I
Right. Yeah.
mean, the
Hmm.
phones and all that shit. So that's what I'm saying. That is why, in my honest opinion, that is why this will never this we will never be able to conquer this current system until it's torn down, because there's too much invested
Mm.
in the system for us to just be able to vote it away.
See,
You get what I
Knight,
mean?
I do, but this goes to where I started though. I also believe that non-action, that apathy that you're talking about, is an excuse because there's not too many in these United States, Knight. There are not too many people over the 18 that complain about the situation that we're in that haven't heard of voting. It's not too many of them. I mean, most people that complain have heard of casting their vote. They've heard of, and then you talking about people addicted to their devices. They know when election day is coming around. So
They
again,
do,
I
but
think
they
that,
don't care about that because the infrastructure has them care. They care about other things. You
right,
understand?
I can see that.
They
Right,
care
right,
about
right,
chasing bags. They
right.
care about designer, this or that. They care
Hmm.
about trinkets, shiny things.
Hmm.
They care about, that's the shit that we have been programmed to care about.
Right, right. Yeah,
So when you say, okay, in the United States, how many people occupy the United States? What is it? Something
like
like
350, 350
300
million.
300 million or something like
Right.
that.
Hmm.
So in an election, that if you get if you only get 80%, or if you only get eight 80 million of those 300 million votes,
It's
you
still
get to
not
do
right.
what you want, right?
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
So if the rest of the population wasn't hypnotized,
Mm. Hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
then those numbers wouldn't be as low as they are. So you can't say that people are just apathetic. No, they're programmed to think about other things. They're
But
programmed to care about other shit.
But listen to this though. But that's the other reason when I always talk about everyone has a role to play, and we do this. We do this on a regular, and I do it as often as I can. That's why I think that those that pay attention to this stuff have an obligation to talk about it. So when you
Right.
come across those people that are apathetic, that talk about how voting doesn't make a difference, especially because the folk that I communicate with more so than not are my brothers and sisters. So therefore, we're probably looking for the same agenda, looking for the same items. So again, I think that those that disagree with the being apathetic and think that voting can make a difference, when they hear that apathy, we have a responsibility to say something and to address and try to educate, try to deprogram, as you say.
Hey, and we got a question from my man Floyd. Uh, he wants to know, when did we get to the point that voting doesn't make a difference,
Mm,
or did it ever really make a difference?
nice. Yeah, yeah. See it. Well, that's a good question, though. I mean, see, but now that as Floyd, with the question that Floyd asked, though, you know what? If you extrapolate on the original question, is not voting an excuse for non-action? Really, what you're talking about is being lazy. That's really what you're talking about, Nike.
It's
I
not.
think so, Nike.
It's not.
Nike, no,
It's
listen,
having the right information.
no,
It's
no,
having.
no, no, Nike. Listen to what you just said, Nike.
All right.
You said you're pretty apathetic about it. You're like, I don't know if it's gonna change, and blah blah blah. But I
I
vote.
vote every. I'm not
But
apathetic about it because I vote every year. I vote
that's
in
my
the
point, Nike.
primaries. I vote
But listen,
in the
but
general.
Nike, but you take out
That's
the
not
time to
apathy.
go and do no, but you said you already said that you question whether the system will change. Except you were just saying that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but
Definitely.
so it will be you the one that would be sitting back saying, well, the system not changing, I might as well not vote. but you go
No,
vote.
that's not what I said. No.
No. Listen, no.
Not it.
What I'm saying is, if anything, because you question the system, you think the whole system needs to be turned over. I would understand a person that think the way that you do, saying, why vote? Why do anything? Because we need to get, I don't want to participate in this corrupt system. But you
Right.
don't do that. You take the time out to still go out and vote. But because
I do
again,
that
so
because I said like it's the lesser of two evils. If me being in the position that I am, right?
mhm,
We we touch other people.
absolutely.
You know, so it would be hypocritical of me not to vote and then say we can't change the system, or then
Mm,
say that this system is what this or that. My proof is that I do vote. So I do have the ability and I have the confidence to say that no, it won't change because I've been voting since I was 18 years old.
mm,
I know people that have been voting for as long as I've been voting.
right, right.
This system has been around. We've been allowed to vote since the 1800s.
Mhm,
So I know when I say that this system is not going to change, it's not that I think it, or it's not that I say, you know, I know that it's not because my eyes tell me that it's not.
right. Now,
You
now,
understand? Like
I do.
it's
I
I deal with like a lot of people deal with faith, and that's okay in some instances, but I don't have that makeup. I deal in factuals, and I deal in reality, and I deal in uh uh actual, like,
see
actual and
now.
factual information. So I deal in logic, right,
Right.
and not faith.
Well, I
So
mean,
so
we all, when we get up in the morning and go out and do what we do every day, there's some faith built in. I mean, we have faith that we go to work, we're going to get paid, and therefore we'll live the life that we're living. I'm going to get back to something about Floyd's question. He said, when did we get to the point that voting doesn't matter, doesn't make a difference? I
we've
think,
always been at that point, Floyd.
see, no, because I think now, again, I would want somebody to pull up the stats of back in the 60s, at the height of the civil rights movement, what percentage did eligible voters vote in the black community? I would bet that it was a lot higher. I think to
It
go back
was,
to what right.
and
So
I
I think, but I think to go back to Floyd's point, to address that, I think as you say, as we started getting distracted, and we start losing focus, and we start taking our eyes off the ball, and we start getting lazy because they're all wrapped up together. They're all wrapped up together. Like, we become uninformed. So now,
right.
that's when I think that we got to the point that voting doesn't make a difference. Now,
Right.
in relation
And
to a
I
second,
agree completely. I agree completely. Like we're here. I
right?
agree completely with that.
Yeah,
But because the thing is, back when they were fighting for civil rights and all that, they didn't have cell phones. They didn't have
absolutely.
they didn't have 1,000 cable channels. They didn't
Hmm.
have all of these different news
Distractions.
outlets. There
Hmm.
was no social media. So
Correct.
that's kind of my point.
Talking about the programming, right?
So that's kind of my point. So our government system has a backup, or has a not even a backup. It has uh a a foot soldier,
Right.
in a word. It sends out these media. It sends out its programming over the media,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And then the governmental institutions are secondary, right? People aren't thinking about it. The average person isn't thinking about government more than he's thinking about getting his next bag, or
Right.
his next meal, or his
But
next pair of
but listen
Jordans,
to
or
this
his
though, Knight.
next whatever.
I understand, but listen to this though. The same way that none of us are politicians or lawyers or anything else, but you know what though? The same way that we still do the work, we cut the time out to go vote, everyone still has an opportunity to do it. And now the second part of his question, he says, or did it ever really make a difference? That I think that question, the answer to that question is obvious. Of course it did, because look at the things that we got that we didn't have when they were, as you said, Mike, when they were fighting for civil rights. We didn't have them. We boycotted. We voted. We did the different things that we did, and now we have some semblance of civil right. Or put it this way, we made some progress, for the sake of argument. So therefore, it does make a difference. That begs my point.
Right. Okay.
That was a good one, man. What do you say? Pacification.
Pacification. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, see now,
That's exactly right. That's what I was actually. I was thinking something in similar to that.
Is that Floyd?
I was ready to move on, but go ahead.
Is that Floyd that said that?
Pacification. No, that's Lynette that said that.
But Knight. But that's my point. Now, my question to Lynette is: do you vote? Do you vote? Because
she votes.
I know she votes. So therefore, so I don't really have a problem with that. You can have a problem with the system because we know that it's not perfect. I'm okay with that. You should question the system. I have a question to what you said.
Democracy states is not a democracy. That's the only part that I think that doesn't register.
Oh, you know what? Without even delving into that question, Knight, I'm okay with that too, because again, I'm okay with the person questioning the system. We should question the system, but you still participate in it. We think it's pacification, but you know what though? Election day, I'm still gonna go out there, kind of pay attention to definitely who I don't want. I might not know, if Trump is running again, I might not know the person that I definitely want. I know who I don't want. You know what I mean? Right. So even if it is pacification, I'm going to participate. So those people aren't the ones that I'm saying are lazy. So I wish you would have come on, but go ahead.
Floyd and Lynette, click the link and come on and give us your feedback since we got y'all on tonight. Yeah,
nice.
Hook us up.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. That was interesting. And like I said, like I don't have a problem with that. I don't think the system is perfect, but that's the
problem. The system has to be perfect, and a democracy has to be perfect before it
but there's no such thing as perfection, Nike. And as somebody used to say, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good, or however you word it. Meaning, don't sit around. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, President Obama used to say that. He used to say that. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Meaning, don't not do anything because you're sitting around waiting for perfection. You know what I mean? Don't sit around and wait for perfection. Still work and strive to move towards perfection.
I got you.
You have to do both at the same time. All right. Nice, man. That was pretty nice. All right. Next we got let me see. How long can we continue to live like this? Then we have be his peace. How important is that to a man? And what is actual truth? Where you want to go, Knight?
Since we were talking about our little country setup, let's go with how long can we continue to live like this?
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, what do we mean by that? How are we living?
This came up when me and Venus were talking, and this was after the last school shooting.
Oh, right.
And she's actually a counselor, so when these type of situations happen, she's responsible for the health, the mental health of the kids that are in her schools. So the thing that she posed the question of, like, how long can we continue to live this way with the shootings, with the economy, just the homelessness, people starving, people can't afford to work. I know. Well, I'm not going to put the person's business out here, but there's a person who works a job. She worked 2 jobs in order to actually get to one job. She
Wow.
works the second job so she can have enough money to get to the first job.
Right.
And then
Right.
we're not even talking about paying bills, paying
Putting
paying
food on the table. Right.
food on the table. Pay you, you understand what I'm saying? So
Mm,
so that kind of stress and that kind of
mm,
pressure on a person constantly
that's right.
has a negative in the end, it has a negative effect on our
Absolutely.
psyche,
Yeah,
our
absolutely.
consciousness,
Your health.
and our health and everything. So how long can we continue to grind this way? There has to be a point where things just break. There's going to
Right.
come a point
Right.
where society is actually going to break down
Mm.
because it can't sustain itself like this.
See, now, you know what, Knight? I think, to kind of merge the two together, I think that once the crap hits the fan and people say, I'm fed up with this, and we can use the word revolution. Now, it doesn't have to be a shooting revolution, but it could be a revolution where people just stand up and say, all right, enough is enough. So I think, when I go back to, I think one of the problems is that when you continuously, and this kind of what you're saying, push the middle class down to the bottom, and now instead of having 10 at the top, 10 at the bottom, and 80 in the middle, now you just have 90 at the bottom. I think when those people that got pushed to the bottom, when that 90% stand up and say enough is enough, then change will happen. I think people have to get fed up enough to say, okay, something has to give, or the pot is going to boil over. And to your point, I think that that's kind of where we are now. I even listened to the politicians now talking about the shooting in the school in Texas. People telling me it feels different now. Now I want to see what they're going to do about it. But you have so many people asking the question, okay, what are we going to do this time? And again, I'm curious to see what's going to happen. But these are the kind of things I think when enough people get fed up and say, everybody said that when you talked about that small percentage that get out there and participate and vote and all that kind of stuff, when all those people start showing up, then I think we'll see change happen.
Stace, I, I I I commend you for being so positive. I
I
do,
am.
man. I really love that about you. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like
mm, mm,
you could take a rainbow and turn that shit into a smile. You know what I mean? Like
right, right,
you my
right,
dude, right?
right,
But
right, right.
in this particular instance, uh, it's going to be more the same, right? Because I c- okay, back to the mass shooting, right? Mass shooting happens, everybody's up in arms, everybody talking about gun control, everybody talking about this and that, everybody's up in arms, then it slowly fades
Right,
out of
right,
memory, right? It
right,
slowly
right,
fades to the background.
right.
Then you don't hear anything else about it.
To the next
And
one.
in this case, a week later, boom,
Right,
same
right.
thing.
Yeah,
Now we're
yeah,
up in
yeah.
arms again, up in
Mm.
arms, up in. So, we, what I tell you, everything happens in a cycle, right?
Right, right. Yeah.
This is a cycle that's on a loop. It's going to keep happening because the people that are in power do not want to change it.
Mm,
And if the
mm,
people in power do not want to change it, it don't matter how many people that are in, like if that 10% don't want to change it,
mm,
it don't matter how many of the 90% want change. It's
mm.
only going to change if those people in that 10% want change.
So
That's
so let
that's
me
the way our system that we're in works.
so let me ask you this then. So how do you respond to that question? How long do you with everything you just said then? How long do you think we can live like this? I mean, what is your response to that? How long do you think we can live like this?
I actually don't think we can live like this for
Much
for
longer.
much long.
Right.
We can live like this in this same cycle.
Mm,
We can live like we're gonna keep living like this. We can live like this until eternity
mm-hmm,
because as long as the 10% keep their control over what they're controlling, media, the brainwashing and all that, and the government and everything like that, it's never going to change. It's going to be the same thing. So we can live like this forever.
So you
We can
don't
live
think
like this forever. But what's going to happen is, like you said, there's going to come a point in time where the collective consciousness
right, right.
is going to, there's going to be a period in the collective consciousness where all of a sudden people wake up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And then when people wake up, they're going to tear the system down, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then that's going to make the 1% say, "Nah, fuck that. We want to keep this the way it is." So the next thing you're going to have more wars. You're going to have more. Then you're going to have people like, that's when the end of the world is going to come. Is when people finally get fed up,
Mm.
because the only way they're going to be able to hold on to their power is with the use of their weapons, right?
So you
They're
think
gonna have
that
drones. They're gonna have like the robots and shit that they just
dang,
came out with.
so
They're
you talking
gonna
about like
have
the
like,
Terminator John?
yeah, they
Mm.
got this shit sitting up on the back of a
The
like a
tank,
Hummer type
right?
vehicle
Yeah.
where they shoot radiation
Mm.
beams, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can stun you and just so you can't move. You know what I'm
Dang.
saying? It's
Mm.
all, they got all kind of technology, and it's
Mm.
all over their government websites. If you're interested, take a look.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
they ready.
Now,
So
and I agree with you though, Knight. I don't think we could continue like this too much longer. I think everything is piling up. I think we are reaching a boiling point. I think
yeah,
we're
it
reaching a
will it
boiling
will
point.
continue like this for a while longer. But then when people's backs are now against the wall, right?
Exactly. And I was gonna say that. Right. So
People's
I
backs
think,
are against the
yeah.
wall. But
So
if it,
people coming out
and
swinging
some
now.
of the people, wait, some of the, so people's backs are against the wall, right? And then you have other people who are helping to push these people against the wall, because
Mhm.
they themselves don't realize that as they push these other people against the wall, they
Respect
getting
them
closer
too.
to the wall too,
Absolutely.
right?
Right. 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 Right.
So
Yeah.
it's almost like a wartime maneuver. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
and you know what's funny with the analogy you just used though, I think that's part of the problem. I think that those of you, now you use the term the 1%ers, those that are at that position that continue to push people's backs up against the wall and not caring about the less of us, the lesser of us, they're hurting themselves, because in a civilized society that's not sustainable. You can't continue to have the haves and have nots, so many. Now if you only had
That's why we were talking earlier about the fall of Rome. Same
right,
thing.
right, so you, but again, I think that's the stupidity of it, because those that are in power, especially when you talk about these stupid politicians, keep talking about basically what you just said, keep things the same. The only way to stop a man with a gun is another man with a gun. That's stupid nonsense, saying they don't want to do anything. Basically, the status quo, that is
Right.
stupid. That is
They even
stupid.
said some shit like make the doors smaller so only one person can get in at a time. Like, how the
Now I
dumb
heard
shit is
about
that?
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now I
like
heard them
that
talking about
shit, that
one way
Ted
in and
Cruz
one way
movie.
out.
Like,
I mean, that's just
yeah, like,
stupid. That's
that's
just
dumb,
stupid.
right?
That's dumb.
That's what I'm saying.
That's dumb.
That's my point though. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
they'll say any ridiculous thing, and they got people that will agree with that.
I was gonna say, but Knight, fortunately though, that small group of people that they're talking to now, they're a boisterous crew. They're very boisterous, and that's why they get a lot of attention. But that's not the majority at all. And again, this goes back to our first part. The problem is that there's so much apathy that there's not enough of us that are fed up saying, okay, now I need to move. Now I need to do something. A lot of us just complain. And then, as you said earlier, allow things to continue to happen to us instead of
Right.
saying, I'm tired of this. Now I'm going to when I go do whatever I need to do, I'm going to take people with me and make sure that people that don't normally do anything, make sure they do things. That's the way that you make change. But that's the problem.
And I'll tell you another thing. There's a reason why they are purposely making it so bad for human beings living on this planet.
Uh-oh. What you mean? Who's making it bad, Knight?
The
You mean
10%.
Mother Nature?
The
Huh?
10%. No, 10%.
the 10% are making it bad for us to exist on this planet.
Right. The gas prices,
Oh, okay, okay, I see
food,
what you're saying. Okay, okay.
all that, right?
Mm,
Because we talked about this, some months ago when we were talking about the Great Reset.
mm-hmm,
That's going to be a salvation to some people, right? You
mm-hmm,
will own nothing, but you will be happy. That
mm-hmm,
is what's going on right now. That
mm-hmm,
is going on. What is going on right now? So you won't have to worry about where your next meal is coming from,
mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm.
we got you.
Right,
We got
right,
you.
right.
You know
It
what I'm
sounds
saying?
good. It sounds good.
You know what I mean?
It sounds
Don't
good. Right,
worry about. We'll give you
right,
somewhere to live. I got
right.
you. Don't worry
That's like
about it.
that's
While
like
they
the
keep
ultimate form of
while
socialism. Mm-hmm.
while they
Accumulate.
break you
Mm-hmm.
off breadcrumbs, right? And they up in the ivory tower with the whole loaf.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
That is the end game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, to your point though, does that sound good? It might sound to people that don't
No,
sound good to people that don't produce. Somebody that says, "Listen, I don't want to go out there and work for mine. Just give me mine. I'll be happy with anything."
yeah.
Yeah. But if you're a fighter and you feel like you can go out and advocate for yourself, then no, just leave
Because
me
the thing
alone
about that,
and just leave me alone and let me go out there and make my way.
let
So.
me tell you what one of the main problems is about that.
Mm,
When people when something has such a control over your life, right?
mhm,
And you're
mhm.
totally dependent on that
Right.
thing,
True.
right? They can tell you to do
Mm.
anything,
That's right. They own you basically. Right.
and you have to do it in order to
Exist.
maintain
Survive.
your
Right.
current
Right. Right.
existence.
Right. Agreed. That's why I said it might
Like,
sound good to somebody that
right.
doesn't produce or doesn't
So
have
that's
anything because
why
it's like I can be lazy.
right.
You know.
We have to wake up. We have to know that we- it
Yeah. Yeah.
and the first thing that people want to say is like conspiracy theorists, or you got your tin hat on, or you know
Hmm.
what I mean. But look at how we're living. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Just
Hmm.
examine how we're living.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
But that's why I
crazy.
said I don't think that to bring the conversation full circle, I don't think that we can live like this much longer because people are getting fed up. The pot is boiling. You have race issues, like you
Right.
said, prices increasing everywhere. Food,
Everywhere.
people are having a hard time existing. So
Just
therefore, like I
existing,
said,
not
right, just existing.
thriving,
Right,
just
right, just existing.
existing.
Right. So that's why I said, I mean, people are getting fed up. So I don't think this can be this way much longer. I think that people are tired, and I think, like I
They're gonna
said,
come in with the solution. They're gonna
who,
come in with the solution.
are you talking about
The
that? Are you talking about
solution is
the
coming.
reset? Now,
Yep.
because even listening to some of the politicians talking about the whole gun thing, they're talking about this seems different this time. Now, again, I'm curious to see what they do. I'm curious to see what they do. But I think that they're starting to see that, people are tired of that stupid stuff. Like you said, the stuff that Cruz was talking about, one way in and one way out, or arm
I'm gonna
all the
tell you what they're
teachers.
gonna
Stupid.
I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do with the guns.
Mm,
And this solution is gonna everybody that's involved, except for the 90%, are gonna like it, right? They're gonna raise the price of guns so high
mm.
they're not gonna change the laws, but they're gonna raise the prices of guns so high that only rich people can afford them,
Wow.
right?
Well, now how would that
You know
be
what I
then?
mean?
Okay. Tease that out though. The price of the guns goes so high to they're no longer on the street because nobody can afford to buy guns. Is that a negative?
It's a negative when only a certain part of the population are allowed to have guns. Yes, that's a
True, I
negative.
get that part. I get that part. Yeah,
Yes.
well, see, but that
But
that
slavery wouldn't be far behind after that.
so now you're going back to having the
I'm
ability to
going back
protect
to
yourself.
Africa. Like I said, history
I mean,
repeats
just going
itself.
back to the
Like
reason that you
so
say
let's
that is
say that
a
only
person
rich
couldn't
people
protect himself. They
so
can't
let's
protect
say that,
themselves.
huh?
You're saying because that would be an issue because then you can't protect yourself. If they come to do something to you, you have no means of protecting yourself.
like I said, history repeats itself. When the colonizers settled or went to Africa, they had guns, they had
Mm-hmm.
muskets, they had
Mm-hmm.
gunpowder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Africans had spears and clubs. Who you think won that battle,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Right.
So now that we have dominion over people, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
know what the history of that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Get on this boat. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now, and again, like, you know what? But you bring up a good point, though. Raise the price of guns so high to they're no longer on the street. A lot of people are going to say, I'm with that.
A
I'm
lot
think
of
about it.
right, a lot of people
A
are
lot of
gonna.
people,
That's
right.
what I said. That's why I know that's coming. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I know what's coming. I
Hmm.
I don't know why I know shit that I know sometimes, but
Hmm.
that is the evolution of where we're going. And
Hmm.
then only certain people in our uh in our country or our population will be able to afford those, and then that's going to create other issues that will have to go years and years and years to work on. But
Now,
let's get
Pat,
to our next topic.
let me just read what Pat
Okay,
says.
unless you got
We
uh-huh.
got we got 4 minutes left. Sadly, it's not possible to legislate evil away, and no gun law ever stopped criminals from getting guns. Did you take that away?
No, yeah, my
Uh,
mistake.
Anyone with the third printer today, with the 3D printer, is capable of owning a firearm. That's true. That's true. You know, some of those guns they have now, they call them the ghost guns. They print those from 3D printers. You
I
know,
know.
so
Yeah.
but with that being said, then maybe it won't be that easy. You know, won't be maybe it won't be that easy to disarm
Those
the
would be
citizenry.
outlawed.
You know, oh, the printers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess you would have to do that. Yeah, yeah. All
But
right, so you want to
anyway,
hit this? Yeah, you
yeah.
want to hit this? I guess we could do one more, right? We can do
We can
one
do
more.
two more. We can go over a little bit. It
Okay,
depends. It depends on how
okay.
we.
All right, we got what is actual truth and be his peace. What does that mean to a man? Be his
I
peace.
I want to get into that one real quick. I was
Be his
I
peace.
was wanting to get into that. Yeah, be his peace.
Okay, okay. All right. What are your thoughts, man? Be his peace. Well, first of all, let me say where that came from.
Yeah.
You know, I on social media, I saw some people making statements, and someone actually said that they were talking about, you know, men being out and about and everything, and one of the people commented that men they think that men go to where their peace is. You know, the person that gives them peace is where they go. Now and now that's not to imply that that means that that situation is going to be stable and 100% perfect, but that is where that person is going to remain. They are drawn to the peace. And actually, Knight kind of goes to one of the things we talked about before we came on. You know, that's what we were saying. You know,
Right.
the person that is looking out for you when you need it, especially when
Right.
you need it. That's where
Right.
you're gonna stay.
Venus, like we were talking about. We was talking about it for another reason, but when when my world is fucked up,
Mm,
Venus is my peace.
right, right. Yeah.
Like I can tell her anything.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I have no secrets from her.
Hmm.
She knows me. I know her inside and out. Right?
Hmm. Now that doesn't mean things are perfect.
No, and that's not
Right.
what I
No, no,
said.
I
Things
know, I
ain't
know.
things
Right,
things aren't perfect,
right.
but she is
Absolutely.
my peace.
Right,
She
right,
is
right.
my when I don't even know how to, like,
And,
she
and,
knows what I need before I
mm,
need it.
mm, mm.
She knows
I mean,
what I need. She knows when I'm going through something. She can come
right,
and look at my
right.
face and be like,
Stress.
"What's
Right,
wrong?"
right,
I
right,
don't
right,
have to
right, right,
say we
right.
communicate sometimes without even
Mhm, mhm.
communicating, if that
See,
makes
but you know
sense.
what, Nike, it does. But that's as we talked about early on. That's and the word that I always use that's the team. You know, that's your teammate. And when you're talking about somebody being your piece, especially, let's bring it home, since we were talking about black men. You know, we're out here, and again, I'm not talking about women, because women have their own set of struggles. I'm not talking about that. But we're out here with our struggles, and when we look to slow down, or stay somewhere, like you said, it's that peace. It's the person that gives you that peace. It's that tranquility. That's what you seek out, because there's nothing worse than fighting at the job, and then out in the public, or out in the street and everything, then come home and have to fight at home. My man used to say, because when you're in that position, you never get the opportunity to take off your armor.
Right.
Because you're fighting everywhere.
You get your ass kicked in the real world,
right? Right.
And if you can't come home and get healed,
right?
If you can't come home and decompress,
to prepare you for the next battle,
and get prepared for that next fight, right? Like she's almost like she's almost like that. Get ready, Rocky.
Yeah, right. The coach, yeah.
She's that coach, like your trainer. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're in your corner. You know what I'm saying? And it has to be a team. Like
right. And then
right.
And the same thing applies the other way though, Knight. When she had that rough day at school dealing with those kids with their issues and all that kind of stuff, and you come home, you see it on the face. First thing you're not gonna say is, "What's for dinner?" You looking at her face like, "I'm gonna call something. I'm gonna order, or I'm gonna do this." You know what I mean? So it is reciprocal, but specifically as far as what we were talking about when in this instance,
and I'm gonna tell you,
you have to be that peace.
And I'm gonna tell you something. A few weeks ago, and this was because and I had been kind of like not feeling well, and I was really cranky, and just my body wasn't feeling right, and shit like that. And she was going through it at her job, right? And she came home and she was like, let me have it. This. And I actually had the nerve to tell her, come on, man, slow down on that.
Right.
And then after I thought about that, I actually thought about that, man, I felt like a piece of shit.
Right. Yeah.
Like I felt like, God damn, like this is the same woman who if I got a fever, she right there, or if I got an ache or a pain, she massaging it, or if I tell her I'm not feeling well, and if she's the first one, well, what can I do for you? Like, do you need this? Do you need that? First thing she going to is what can she do for me? And she came to me with unloading, and I wasn't in the place where
I was going to say that. Right. I mean, you were a little banged up. Right.
I was a little banged up myself, but that's still
correct.
And I felt like such a fucking asshole. Like I felt like a piece of shit, man.
As you should. Right.
Then, so I tried to make it up to her. I wanted to take her to brunch, and we was out. And then she looked at me. She's like, "You not right." I was like, "What you mean?"
I've been saying that for the longest, man.
She was like, she was like, "You're not right. Something ain't right." And she was like, "You don't feel well." And like she called that shit, and that's when my sugar had went up so high. Right. She, like I said, sometimes we communicate without even communicating.
Yeah.
And like you need that, man. A brother, especially a brother out here.
Right.
You need that. You gotta have that.
Now, my man Q had posted something. Now, and Q is he used to be here in Philly. He's a poet. Now he's out in Houston. He started a financial advisor business, and we used to talk all the time. He posted something the other day, and he put the caveat in there, not saying that I agree with this, but he just put a little news article saying that, check this out, y'all. And it was a news article from the 50s, like for women, when your husband come home. Now this is when I guess the lady wasn't working, she was home, the homemaker, etc. When he come home, first thing you do is you don't run to him with the problems, blah blah blah. It was all these things. It was like a list of things, and again he said, and I agree, not saying that we believe in this, but again I think it's reciprocal. you have to be each other's piece, and
Right.
again, and I was thinking about it when
Right.
you were saying it. That's not to say that we don't take on the issues and the problems head on. You can't keep pushing something off saying, well, I never want to discuss this. That's not what we're saying.
Right.
But there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it, and there's a time to do
Calm.
it.
You have to have that calmness.
Right. Right. That you have to have the comments, or at least, okay, not if you see me struggling, not right, then okay, you know what? You see right now, he needs some he or she needs space. Like you said, Venus needed to vent. So you gotta suck that up.
Right.
You gotta listen to
Exactly.
that. You gotta be
Exactly.
her, you gotta be her piece,
I
even
gotta be
even
her
though you're
piece too.
hurting. Right.
Right.
So it's
Right.
not one way. It's not
Right.
one way. But I think nowadays, though, I think we're so caught up on looking at ourselves and our own needs that we don't think about the needs of the
Right.
other person.
Right.
We don't think about that. We
We
don't
have a
look at their
tendency to
face.
get selfish.
Correct. There you go. But Knight, but one of the words that I use though, what you're talking about selfish, you're saying that you're not working as a team. Because
Right.
I realize that as a team, if I'm being selfish because I'm only looking at me, if TL is banged up and I'm not helping him heal, neither one of us any good because I need to vent and he'll never be right for me to vent. So it
Right.
screws up the whole team. It
Right.
screws up the whole team, man. It's like I think we lose that, and have lost it,
Yeah.
and have lost it. But I just thought that was interesting, man. All right, so you want to hit this last one? What time is it? 5 after. We got time, right?
What is truth? Do you want to
Is
wait
that
for that for next week, or
push that to next week?
what is actual truth?
We could do.
It's up to
That's gonna be a
you.
big one. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do it
that's
because
a
we
pretty big
started
one.
out. Yeah, we started
That's a
out
pretty big one.
running a little longer than we thought
Yeah,
we would
that
on
random took us a little
the
over.
random. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll bring that on. That'll be one of the ones we start off with next week.
Next week.
What is actual truth? Because like you said,
Okay.
that's gonna be a big one. All right.
All right. One thing, last words I want to get in. Um, the book club. The next book in the book club is the Compendium of the Emerald Tablets by Billy Carson. Really good book. Really good book. Uh, it kind of explains the ancient emerald tablets that are like thousands of years old, and that predates the Bible. But he actually makes references to where the Bible got their information. So that's why I said some stuff in the Bible can be proven, and that part of the stuff I can get with. But
Mm.
there's other pieces, and things that were manipulated that not so much. But it's a really good book, Compendium of the Emerald Tablets, and also
When is that gonna take
uh,
place? When
that one is going to be on. Let's see here.
the last
It's
Wednesday of the
going to
month, right?
be
The last Wednesday of the month of June
is going to be
29th.
on the
June
29th.
29th. June 29th.
Wait, let me
And he's gonna put
let me pull it up.
the name of the book in the link. So if you're interested
Yeah,
in
June 29th.
June 29th, he's gonna put the name of the book in the
Yep.
link. So if you're interested,
Uh-huh.
check out the book, and then that will be the book that will be discussed June 29th with the Real Brothers Book Club.
Correct.
Okay,
And
nice.
one last thing, June 11th,
Mm.
2022. We're trying to shut this system down and bring them to the point where they can negotiate. Real Brothers is going to started a Black Dollar blackout. You can go to our website and get more information on it. But the only thing that we're asking is that people don't spend any money, and that's not how hard it is. How hard can it be not to spend money on a certain day?
On that day,
You know what I
right?
mean?
Put your gas on the 10th.
Get your gas early. Get your food early.
Mhm.
Get whatever you need to get early. But on that date, June the 11th, that weekend, let's keep our money in our pockets.
Okay,
Unless you're spending it at a black owned business.
June the 11th.
June 11th.
All right.
And lastly, love is the new black. And I appreciate everybody listening. And what you got, Black?
All right. So once again, to piggyback on what TL said, June 11th, Black Dollar Blackout. Get your supplies and everything on the 10th. Also, as he said, the next book club meeting will be on June the 29th. He's going to put the name of the book in the group chat so that you can see what book will be discussed, so that you can be prepared. Again, we'd like to thank everyone for participating. We enjoyed those comments. We got some good comments. We like those. That Lynette, Pat, Shice early on, and the other person. We like to thank you for your comments, because when you do that, it gives us something else, additional thoughts to banter about. But as we said, feel free to click on the link to join us. Don't forget you could catch us on all of the major platforms. And we still need you to, if you haven't done so already, to go on to YouTube and to subscribe to the channel so that we can continue to get those numbers up. So again, thank you for participating, and we'll see you next week. We love y'all.
See y'all next week. Love you.
Peace.
Take it easy. I'm out.